What is up, guys? This is OldschoolRSGuides, and today we are going to go over the Blast Furnace. The Blast Furnace at first glance can look very confusing. However, it can reward the player with a ton of gold and really fast XP rates depending on which ore you decide to do. The Blast Furnace is very unknown, probably. A lot of people don't know about it and don't know how to do it. And when they get there, they just get confused. So this guide's really to help you guys out, and I tried to fit as much information in this guide as possible. So I hope you guys do enjoy, and more than anything, I hope this helps you. So let's just hop right into the guide, and so let's begin. The Blast Furnace can be found in Kildigrim, which is kind of a tricky place to get to. If you're looking at your map here, you just need to drag it north towards Relica, and once you get up here to Relica, the Kildigrim entrance is right here. I'll try to find a map of the Kildigrim inside, but OSBuddy doesn't have that, so let's see if I can find a map. Okay, so here's an inside map of what Kildigrim looks like. As you notice, I have Blast Furnace labeled off to the right. The easiest way to get to the Blast Furnace is to take the Kildigrim Rat Pit minigame teleport. So if you go to your minigame teleports, which is similar to like your home teleports, there should be a Rat Pit option, and once you click on that to teleport to the Rat Pits, you should get 4 options to go to like Varrock, Ardugny, Kildigrim, and maybe some other one, Port Sarim, I think. And you want to obviously select Kildigrim. So once you select Kildigrim and you teleport there, you will appear just west of the Blast Furnace, that little red starred symbol in the pub. That is where you will spawn after the teleport, and so then all you have to do is run east. If you come through the Kildigrim entrance that I just showed, you will be entering in the southwest corner of the map down there. You will have to take a ferry across the river, and then of course you need to cross the bridge and head to the east side of Kildigrim. Also, guys, I forgot to mention, a third way of getting to Kildigrim is just near the GE. This is the northwest corner of the GE, and all you have to do is come right here and right click on the trapdoor and travel, and this will take you to Kildigrim also, and all you have to do then is run right through that door. So this is also a really quick way if you have not done the Rat Catcher's quest. Okay, so let's take a look at the current ore prices and profit per bar as of the date that I'm making this video. Coal, 262 GP, iron ore, 137 GP. If you throw those together, you get 399 GP, so it takes 399 GP to make one steel bar. The steel bar itself is 731 GP, so the current price of a steel bar minus what it takes to make a steel bar is your profit, or 362 GP. So profit per steel bar is 362 GP, and if you're a visual learner, I even threw some nice good pictures down there at the bottom of the page because I know how much that could really help some of you. Sarcasm. But I thought it was a nice touch. Now let's take a look at myth bars and myth ore. So 2 coal is 524 GP. 1 myth ore is 279 GP. If you throw that together, you get 803 GP, which is pretty much the price that it requires to make one myth bar. A myth bar itself is 1261 GP, so if you take the current price of a myth bar and subtract it by the price that it takes to make a myth bar, you get your profit, or 458 GP. So myth bars profit is a little more than steel bars, but you have to keep in mind that it also takes more time to make a myth bar. So it's interesting. I'll show you guys the time at the end. Moving on to Addy, 3 coal, 786 GP, 1 Addy ore is 1077 GP, so 1077 plus 786 is 1863, which is the required price it takes to make 1 Addy bar. A Addy bar itself is 2461 GP, and if you take the current price of an Addy bar subtracted by the price that it requires to make an Addy bar, you get your profit, or 598 GP. So once again, a little higher than even myth, but you have to keep in mind the time. Moving on to Rune. Rune is definitely where you make the most profit. 4 coal is 1048 GP, 1 rune ore is 11,921 GP, so if you take the current price of rune ore added by the 4 coal, you get the total price it requires to make 1 rune bar, which is 12,969 GP. Rune bar itself is 13,949 GP, and if you subtract that by the required price it takes to make a rune bar, you get your profit per bar, or 980 GP. So now let's get to the good stuff. Once you are at Blast Furnace, what you need to do is head through these 3 doors, and once you make it through the 3 doors, just climb down the stairs, and voila, here we are. This is the Blast Furnace. Now, just for a little appraisal, I have 95 smithing, so I do know what I'm talking about, and this guide should be as thorough as you can find out there anywhere. So we are at the Blast Furnace. The official Blast Furnace world is world 358. However, if you plan on doing Blast Furnace for a long time, or for real cash or gold, then you need to not do this world. And let me explain. There are Blast Furnace CCs, and pretty much what these Blast Furnace CCs do are they make the Blast Furnace run at the maximum speed possible. So in this world, the Blast Furnace is never running at the maximum speed. And the reason being is because you can see there's a lot of bots here. And not only that, the world is just random people. Like, the Blast Furnace depends on people to work. And if the people are working, then they are not making money. They are not producing bars. So nobody's going to want to work because everyone's going to want to produce bars. So that's where the Blast Furnace CCs come in. As you can see, this guy's working over here on the pedal. This guy is working over here on the lever or the push. And there's also 2 other jobs, and it's like collecting coke and putting it into the stove, as well as reading the temperature gauge, because once it gets green, that's when the bars come. So there's like 4 different jobs here, potentially 4 different jobs. Some people can do 2 jobs at once. However, in this world, you will find that the bars are really slow. So what I recommend you doing is finding a Blast Furnace CC, and oftentimes there will be advertisements in this world for Blast Furnace CCs. At the same time, a lot of Blast Furnace CCs die out quickly. The only Blast Furnace CC that I know of that is still around, and that has been around for about the last year, is True BF. Now, True BF is a Blast Furnace CC that you have to pay for, so you have to pay 60k. I think it's 60k. It was 60k at least when I was using it a while back. It might be more now. But pretty much what you do is they announce that there's going to be a shift. You find the world, or you add the person that's going to host the shift. You pay him 60k. He tells you the world. You go to that world and you get pretty much instantaneous bars. They do not scam. This is totally legit. I don't really like True BF that much, but like I will do it if nothing else works, if there's no other shifts going on. There are other CCs out there that have literally died. This used to be a really big CC for donation shifts, which pretty much means they would work for donations. You wouldn't have to pay them, but of course you could donate. Another big Blast Furnace CC was this, as well as this, and you can see they're all dead. So I don't really know of any current donation Blast Furnace CCs. I do know of True BF. That's the only one that I know that is still around. I'm sure there's others that are around, but you have to do that on your own. You have to find out on your own. So that's all about Blast Furnace CCs. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm not going to do this in a shift world. I will do this in world 358, but like I said before, I do not recommend doing a Blast Furnace in this world just because it's so slow. So your inventory, it depends on what your inventory depends on what ores and bars you're going to use, really. I definitely do recommend stamina potions by all means. You should definitely be using stamina potions. They're very important. You do not want to literally run out of run. You want to keep your run up to the maximum level so that you make the maximum gains and gold. so always use stamina potions. You don't have to have it in your inventory. If your stamina potion runs out, you can just click it here and then bank it, and then you have another inventory space. My inventory always looked like this, where I would have a coal bag and a bucket of water. They have updated it now that if you have goldsmith gauntlets, that you do not need the bucket of water to cool off the bar. So if you do have goldsmith gauntlets, don't bring the bucket of water. However, if you don't bring it, another thing that is hugely important for the blast furnace is the coal bag. The coal bag is an object that you can obtain from the Motherlode mine. On average, it probably takes about 10 hours. You need 1,000 nuggets. I think it's 1,000. No, it's 100 nuggets, isn't it? Yeah, it's 100 nuggets for the coal bag. And pretty much, if you want to do blast furnace, you have to get the coal bag. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. You need the coal bag. You have to put in the work and get the coal bag, or else blast furnace is not even worth it. What it does is it holds up to 28 pieces of coal. Right there you can see all my coal just went into the coal bag. So what this allows me to do is something like this. I don't know if I actually have rune ore in there right now, but I'm going to guess that I do. And so what this allows me to do is bring out the rune ore and come up here on the conveyor belt and then put ore on the conveyor belt. It will ask you if you want to add all your ore. You say yes, and then right here you can empty it, and then you can empty all your coal onto the conveyor belt as well. So this really helps out increase the speed of your cash per hour and XP per hour. Okay, so after you load your conveyor belt with your ore and your coal, this is where the waiting happens. Like I said, in a BFCC, this doesn't happen. You do not wait. You are constantly running to the bank, to the conveyor belt, collecting bars, to the bank, to the conveyor belt, collecting bars. You literally do not stand here at all on a shift world. So it's really important that you do find a blast furnace CC. But if you are in this world, this is where the waiting happens. After you loaded your ores into the conveyor belt, you just have to wait for your bars to come. And I'll try to record it here when the bars show up. So okay, so as you can see right there, I just got an XP drop, and now there are bars right here on the bar dispenser. So all you have to do is come over here and click take, and now you have 27 rune bars. So that's really helpful. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is load your ores on the conveyor belt and wait for the bars to be made by the workers. Now, of course, you need to do this in a blast furnace CC world, otherwise it's just not worth it. It really doesn't matter what ores you are using, as long as you make sure that you put the respective amount of ores and coal onto the conveyor belt. So for steel bars, all you need is an equal amount of iron ore and coal. So for example, what I'm doing right here is I'm throwing iron ore on the conveyor belt, just one iron ore, and then per one iron ore I'm throwing one coal on the conveyor belt. And this will get me steel bars. So now all I would have to do is wait here for my steel bars to come. If you want to do myth bars, you need to do 2 coal per 1 myth ore. I guess I don't have any myth ore, but you need to do 2 coal per 1 myth ore, 3 coal per 1 addy ore, and 4 coal per 1 rune ore. Now let's talk about gold. So gold ore is a little different. You do not need any coal when it comes to gold ore, and this is where you get the most XP an hour. I think on a blast furnace CC world, you can get upwards of like 250k smithing XP an hour with gold ore, I believe. That number may be way off. I'll have to look more into it, and you will see the number somewhere here on the screen. But that is pretty incredible that you can get these kinds of rates. So that's really cool, and really gold ore is the way to go for XP. Steel bars or rune bars is the way to go for money. So that's all there pretty much is to the blast furnace. I hope this guide helped you. It really is simple. There's not much to say about it other than you load the conveyor belt with the respective ratio of coal and ore, and you wait around to collect your bars, go to the bank and repeat the process. You will be making a ton of gold and getting decent amount of XP. As you can see, I'm 95 here, and It's not that fun, but it isn't that bad either, and there's definitely worse things that you could do in this game. So I hope this guide helped you guys, and if it did, please make sure to leave a like or a comment and subscribe to me for some more great guides.